So stock markets in India do fairly well 1 year before the elections. You can check the last 25 years data and this trend plays out quite aggressively. For example, consider the fact that when Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee became the Prime Minister of India, if you consider the 1 year returns of the stock market before the elections, you will see that the stock markets gave 50.7% returns. If you apply the same analysis to Dr. Manmohan Singh in 2004, the stock markets 1 year before gave almost 98% up move. Then if you consider Dr. Manmohan Singh 2009, there was a negative trend. Then Shri Narendra Modi, the markets gave 16.6, and then finally in 2019, the stock markets gave 5.2. So overall, if you study the results, you will see that typically on an average, the stock market gives an up move of 30% before an election year. So hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So on this video, I'm going to help you decode whether it is a great time to be investing in the stock market given the data that I just showed you. What are some nuances, finer points that you should understand about the volatility, how you should prepare your portfolio as of now, and once the elections are over, what is likely to happen? So I will decode all that story through data. I will also speak about some of the bets that I'm taking along the way, give you a macro view, whatever is happening. I will relate a lot of technicals, fundamentals, business. So in case you like this type of analysis, do consider supporting these videos. Just press the like button, and I know that you haven't done it. So please press the like button so that these type of videos reach out to more people. Also, a very big shout out to our sponsors for today, which is Vested. It is an excellent platform to diversify your risk by investing in the US markets. I myself invest a lot of my money in the US markets. So in case you want to hedge your macroeconomic risk as a diversification principle, you can definitely consider taking some US bets. You can check my entire US portfolio also in the description and comment box. So definitely go and check out Vested. So with that said, let's kickstart our video and let me give you a finer understanding of the data that I had shown you, because some of you might take a look at this data and get scared, yeah, that before 2009 elections, the stock market corrected by 25%. Please notice the year 2009. That was a time when financial meltdown had happened. The stock market correction had just begun, not only in India, but also across the globe. So this was a major macro event. So, and this is an anomaly. So you cannot consider it as a rule. That's point one. Point two, if you consider the year 2019, you will see that, you know what, before Modi ji's election, the market only gave like 5.2% return. Well, there is an asterisk sign and you can see that the data has been adjusted for COVID impact and we have considered till March 5th of 2020. So let me show you the chart also that since when the market started correcting. So the market before COVID started correcting somewhere in Feb, right? And it corrected how much? And almost till March, there was at least like a 20-25% fall that was completed. So ideally, अगर ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता COVID type की situation, then even before Modi ji's re-election, the market would have given 30% return. Okay. So to cut the long story short, if you just look at this data point, कि यार election से पहले is it like a good time to invest? Short answer, the data-driven answer is then 100% yes, that it is definitely a good time to invest in the stock market before the election year. अब ये तो हो गई data-driven बात, but is there some logic, facts, analysis to it that okay, why would such a thing happen that the stock market is going to give good returns 1 year only before? Why not like 2 years, 3 years before, or why not after the results? Okay, so let us do a little bit of thought exercise. Let me ask you a question that what do politicians truly care about? You will say people. No, that is the wrong answer. Politicians honestly care about votes. Okay, so like irrespective of the political party, that is my viewpoint. People can disagree. But anyways, let's work with this. So politicians care about votes. Now people vote based on what? Now you will say development. Well, maybe, maybe not. But definitely people vote based on sentiments. And one subcategory of sentiments are market sentiments, right? So market means Nifty 50 or Sensex. So agar election se pehle, just before election, the market sentiments become positive. Then is that a good thing for the government, politicians? The short answer is yes. And therefore that data point that I had shown you earlier, it's not an anomaly. It very much falls in line with what the politicians want. Now, definitely, I'm not trying to say that market sentiments are the only and the sole thing that is out there, but market sentiments definitely play a very important role. It indicates as a strength of investor sentiment. It talks about how much FII money is coming. It generally creates a very positive environment for politicians, and therefore the sitting government will do everything in their power to support the stock market at this juncture. So this is a very simple analysis, but a very powerful one, and I hope that you are able to understand this point. I'm not trying to make the video geopolitical, ऐसा बहुत सारी सरकारों ने किया है, and this government is also likely to do something similar. So then comes the second question कि अच्छा, what exactly will the government do that will support the stock market? What precise step that they can take? Well, to cut the long story short, here is the data and you can check. So right now the interest rates in India are almost at 6.5%. Okay, and you can see and you can check that when was the last time such high interest rates were there. So this was somewhere in like 2015ish, right? So that is when it was there. So can the government cut the interest rates from this point? The short answer is yes. Many economists are predicting that the governments are going to cut the interest rates, not only in India but also in the US. So US also will go an election cycle next year and the results will be announced in 2025. So वहाँ पे भी interest rates are going to get cut. So if India में interest rate cut होंगे, US में interest rate cut होंगे, so what impact will it have on the stock market? It will have a very positive impact. Now, why positive impact? Because whenever the interest rate gets cut, then there is more flow of money into the stock market. Now, you say, अच्छा, इसके पीछे कोई economics है? Is there some economics behind it? Why would this happen? So, okay, yes, there is a logic behind it. And let's understand it through a simple example. So let's say that I give you choice one, right? The choice one is that you are getting an FD interest rate right now at 7.5%. आप FD कराओगे? The short answer is yes. You will go and deposit your money in a bank. FD में पैसा safe है, सब बढ़िया बढ़िया. Now option 2, the FD rates are cut to let's say 5%. Then will you put more money in FDs? The short answer is no. You will say कि यार 5% मज़ा नहीं आया, पहले तो 7 मिलता था ये वो, right? And then you will think कि चलो I'll take like little bit of risk with it. So where will you put that money? You will put that money in real estate. You will put that money in stock markets. वगैरह वगैरह जगह. Then what will happen if the money flows to real estate, stock market? Well, these asset classes will go up. So to cut the long story short, what is likely to happen before the election and the reason why there is likely to be a rally is very simple, that the interest rates are likely to be cut and Nifty 50 or the top performing stocks in India are likely to go up. In fact, इसका पूरा माहौल बना हुआ है. I will write a very detailed macroeconomic post tomorrow on member community where you will understand the entire rationale. In case you are a serious investor, do consider checking out our YouTube member community. It's a very reasonable product. Try it for a month. If you don't like it, cancel the subscription. It's a basic subscription, 150 rupees, something like this. Just try it once. It's a community of serious investors and people have really loved the experience so far. I will write a very detailed macroeconomic post on this specific topic tomorrow. But let me give you a very quick understanding on that. For example, if you study the market indices right now, what you will clearly notice is that large cap या Nifty 50 जिसको बोलते हैं, so that hasn't performed that much. It is up in its recent rally by 16%, roughly 15-16%. Small cap in its recent rally is up by like 60%. Okay, and mid cap ka I will double check and let you know the data. But to cut the long story short, what is happening from a market sentiment point of view is that large cap में बहुत ज़्यादा तेजी नहीं आई है. There has not been a massive growth in large cap in this recent rally, but small caps have somewhat outperformed large caps and people are saying एक bubble बन गया है, this that. So separate topic, maybe I will cover it later. But the important point that I wanted to explain was that if you study the mahal, right, or the environment right now, what is it pointing to? Well, it is pointing to the fact that large caps are likely to go up at least in the short term. When I say short term, it means pre-election, that these are likely to go up. Why not small cap, mid caps? Because अभी मैंने आपको क्या बताया था, that market sentiment वाला point, right? And market sentiment is what? Well, market sentiment is Nifty 50 and Sensex. Now, what is Nifty 50 comprise of? It comprises of large cap stocks, right? So these are likely to do much better before elections, like almost very high probability. अब मैं stamp paper पे तो लिख के नहीं दे सकता, but there is a very high probability that large caps are likely to outperform small caps, at least at this juncture. Small cap major rally has already happened, at least one leg. People made a lot of money. I invested, made a lot of money in small caps. Should you sell it? Should you not sell it? That again, I will cover on some other video or member community. But I hope that you are able to grasp the most important point here, that before election rally hoti hai. Why does it happen typically? And what type of mahal has been built so far that will propel this rally even this time? There is a good chance that that rally will happen. So comes the next important point, that okay, rally hogi, then till what point will Nifty 50 likely go, right? So if you do a little bit bit of technical analysis, you will clearly see that, okay, this is a cup with handle pattern. Here is where the breakout happened and it sustained, then it came down, it has started to go back. So if this technical pattern gets completed, then the range or the target range comes out to be somewhere around 21,000 to 22,000, right? So this is the range that between 21 and 22, this is where the markets are likely to be before elections. And exactly ये rally क्यों आएगी? Because the interest rates are likely to be cut before elections, or they might happen in like December, I don't know. So whenever RBI makes that cut, there will easily be a 10% up move in the market. So then comes the next important point कि अच्छा ठीक है यार 21,500 massive, right? मजा आ गया, right? Now I will start trading. भाई trading मत करना. This is not a tradable market. Now why is that the case? Because in the election year, there is a lot more volatility in the stock market. Now volatility simply moves that how violently the market moves up, comes down, moves up, comes down. So that range or that trading range becomes like fairly big, and it can cause a lot of heartburn, heartache for people who are trading. Now you can also check it by understanding something called as VIX. So let me show that to you. Now volatility is measured by a number called as VIX. So this is called as Nifty VIX, and what you will notice is, so let me show you the entire chart here. See, this was 2014 time, right? And you will see that there are sudden spikes here, right? Usually flat trade karta tha, then it started trading very aggressively here in this zone, right? So the VIX went up. Now something similar happened in 2019 also, right? This part, right? You'll say कि यार ये वाली peak तो आपने discuss नहीं करी. 2020 में there was no election. Well, that was a separate thing altogether. In 2008 also, it was not because of election that VIX was there or volatility was high. 2008 there was a financial meltdown, so VIX वहाँ पे भी बढ़ा था. 2020 there was a COVID crash, so VIX वहाँ पे भी बढ़ा था. So these are separate events, but generally if you notice, be it 2013-14, be it 2019, be it 2009, so every time the VIX moves quite aggressively. So in a volatile market, if you are not an exceptional trader, when I say exceptional trader, unless you are in top 3, 4, 5%, mat karo trade, right? You are going to lose a lot more money. So this was an important point. So I explained it to you in brief. Now, before explaining it to you, what type of specific assets you should aggregate before elections and how you should hedge your portfolio, let me take maybe like 2 minutes to explain you other positive things that will support the market rally. So number one point here is that the FII data is strong. For the last 3 months, they have been net buyers. Recently they sold this month, but it is very likely that this trend is again going to reverse because there is massive support from DII and with a global interest rate cut. So this point number 5 is that interest rates are not only going to get cut in India, they are also likely to get cut in the US. So with that happening, the FIIs are going to look for emerging market opportunities again. So this trend typically looks very positive. Okay, so this is point 1. Second point, by the economic strength of India. Now I will not speak too much here because people have different diverging opinions on it. Some say कि बहुत growth हो रही है, some say कि यार कुछ नहीं growth हो रही. It's for you to decide. But net the trend again seems to be positive, or at least the news seems to be positive. Now fundamentals कहाँ है? We will talk about it in some other video with a data-driven approach. Okay, so I'll not comment too much, but net, of course, like there is a lot of positive news that is happening. 3, there is bottoming out of the market. Now this is short-term bottoming out, and I will show it to you on charts also. And please take a look at 2-year data. Now here, if you go and check, right? So here is October of 2021, and here, right? This is almost June of 2023, right? So roughly 1.5 years ho gaye. And how much returns has the market given? So market has hardly given like 5-6% return in the last 1.5 years. So on a 2-year basis, which is considered to be short term, the markets have underperformed. They have not done well. Pre-election year, सब कुछ भूल जाओ. If the government wants to take up the market up, they can easily take the market up. That is more likely to happen at this point, and therefore you should be a sensible net buyer, not a net seller in this type of a market. So acha, one very interesting point, that once the market hits 21,500, what should you do? Should you sell it? Should you not sell it? What is it that you are doing, Akshat? So Akshat will be a net seller at this stage. Now, why net seller? Now again, I can make an entire video on this topic, but let me explain you 2-3 very basic points here. Once the elections are over, then what happens? Okay, so there are 3-4 basic points. It depends on what type of government we get, right? For example, if Modi ji comes to power with a thumping majority, that's good for the market. If some other leader comes with a thumping majority, again, that's good for the market. Okay, please notice the word market. I'm not giving you opinion who should come to power, who should not come to power. That is political debate. I will not get into that. Basically, the market likes decisiveness, and if there is very strong government that is coming at the center, they can anticipate that, you know what, then the policy that will get formed for the next few years, it will be stable. ऐसे बीच में कुछ नहीं हो जाएगा, सरकार गिर गई, right? No, some other person says something or some other coalition says something, so वो सब रट्टे नहीं होंगे, right? So it depends on the strength of the government. I personally feel कि it will not be as strong a government in the center this time as it was the case the last two times. Okay, so this is point one. This is my personal opinion. Who will win? I don't know. Then comes the second point, that okay, what is the overall market conditions? That are the markets overvalued, undervalued after elections? So see, if the market hits this 21,500 mark, I would say that, you know what, one major rally from here all the way till 21,500 has been concluded. If you study the history of the Indian stock market from 2014, this is an analysis that I had done on my Hindi video. I will link it in the description box. You can go and check it. From 2014 till say 2024, if the market hits 21,500, this will amount to a CAGR of 14%, 14%. This is fairly good. Okay, so at this stage, we cannot say that the markets are undervalued for sure. Definitely undervalued to nahi hai. Fairly valued, yes, and overvalued, you can debate. So that is the sensible data that I'm sharing with you. Now add to this the fact that the world has to bring down the debt. The total debt on the world is fairly high and they will have to bring it down. That means that the interest rates would be kept fairly high, or they might even increase it intermittently, or they will raise taxation, which will hit the domestic consumption. Now, the Indian market is mostly domestic consumption driven market as of now. If the taxes are raised any further, that will be back breaking for people, and वो अच्छा नहीं होगा economy strength के लिए. But once elections are over, who cares about like economy and all that stuff? No incentive left also. So I'm moving to other better options. One such option for me is real estate. I've already aggregated a lot of real estate. I'm buying even more. I've already started planning my portfolio accordingly. I have already made very good money from my stock portfolio, and at this stage, I would have made even better returns. So I'm very happy with how my stock portfolio has performed. In case you want to check my entire P&L, I have linked it in the description comment box. You can watch that video also. That does not mean that I'm leaving the stock market. No, I'm not leaving the stock market. I will still continue to invest, but I will build substantial real estate portfolio along the way. So, okay, then comes the final question. What is it that you should be buying? What is it that you should be selling, and how? So let us quickly chat about that as well. Number one, very clear undervalued opportunity that I see are large cap banks, right? I have been speaking quite extensively about it. I've already geared my portfolio waiting for a breakout. Maybe it will happen in 3 months, maybe it will happen in 6 months, maybe it will happen just before election. I don't know. I can't take guarantee of that. But overall, sensible banks like HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank are at very reasonable valuation. A lot of people are saying that internet banking nahi chalti hai HDFC Bank ki. Bhai, unki internet banking hasn't been working for years. Okay, so it's not as if that there is some problem going on. Check the profit, check the revenues, check its PE, everything looks solid. I'm not saying that HDFC Bank will double from this point. No, I'm not saying that. But making a good 15-30% return in a quick manner seems very feasible. So that is a major bet. Second, IT stocks. So I had already been aggregating IT stocks for the last 2 months, right? I had spoken about it quite extensively. In last 2 months, it has already climbed up by 11%. I just taken very simple nifty IT bet. That's it, right? And उस पे मेरा 11% का profit है. Very, very happy with it. Why? Because the risk for me is very low. People keep on looking at like micro cap, small cap, mid cap नहीं करेंगे. But I'm talking about safe investing. Yes, I do risky investing too, which I can't speak publicly because then, you know, you guys will say, yeah, ये stock नहीं चला, वो stock नहीं चला. So of course that's risky. But at least I can talk about sensible bets. Then comes consumer durables. Most likely they should start running. Some stocks have already started running, but they should start running more from the festive season. That is likely to happen. Then you have internet based companies. Zomato for me has been a very good stock. It has already given me like 30-40% return from the levels I was speaking. Back that time, no one was speaking about Zomato. Now everyone is, yeah, Zomato is a very company and this, that, right? So anyways, I am betting on these internet based businesses also. Again, I will keep on revealing the names on some of my other videos. Small caps, I am not buying anymore. I am already sitting on good 40% profit on my small cap 250 index that I had purchased. I had again disclosed it publicly, right? Now, mid caps, I don't know. You have to be very, very selective. So according to me, small caps are overvalued. Large caps are typically undervalued as of now. The entire macro is forming around the fact that large caps are likely to give better returns in the short term, as I explained you the reasons also. Now, I am not saying that I will be 100% right about each of these steps. This is not an advice what you should buy, what you should sell. I have given you all the data. Now it's your responsibility to do further research and make your own investment decisions. Now, some of you might be thinking, yaar, I got a little bit of stress after watching this video that Akshat is going to sell his stocks and move to real estate a bit of his money. Should I also do the same? I have decoded the entire space very logically. So please consider checking this video. It will give you more idea. Should you cut your positions from stock and move more money to real estate, and at what stage? I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Do check out the links in the description and comment box. I will see you soon.